Have you ever noticed how a compliment can feel weirdly unsafe? Like someone says, "You did great," and your brain instantly whispers, "They don't mean it." Or worse, now you have to keep living up to it. If praise has ever made you anxious instead of happy, you're not broken, you're just human. And there's psychology behind why kindness can feel like a trap. Here's why compliments can trigger anxiety. Your brain treats praise like a test, not a gift. For some people, a compliment doesn't land as warmth, it lands as evaluation, like you've just been graded and the next exam is already scheduled. This is performance-based identity. When your self-worth is tied to outcomes, praise isn't comforting, it's pressure. Because if you were amazing today, what happens when you're average tomorrow? So your nervous system doesn't celebrate, it braces. You don't distrust the person, you distrust the moment. If you've ever been praised right before someone asked for something, or complimented as a way to soften criticism, your brain learns a pattern. Nice words come with strings. That's classical conditioning in social form. Your body remembers what your mind tries to rationalize. So even if the compliment is genuine, your instinct goes, "Where's the catch?" And anxiety is just your brain trying to protect you from repeating the past. Compliments collide with your self-image, and your brain chooses the self-image. Here's a brutal truth. Most people don't reject compliments because they hate positivity. They reject them because it doesn't match how they see themselves. If you carry a quiet belief like, "I'm not that special," praise creates cognitive dissonance, a clash between external feedback and internal identity. And the brain hates mismatch, so it resolves the tension the fastest way possible, by dismissing the compliment. "They're just being nice. They don't really know me." They say that to everyone. Not because you're ungrateful, because your identity feels more true than someone else's words. If you grew up earning love, praise feels like a contract. Some people were raised in environments where affection was conditional. You got attention when you achieved. You got warmth when you behaved. You got approval when you performed. So as an adult, praise doesn't feel like appreciation. It feels like a deal. You're valued as long as you keep producing. That creates anxious attachment to validation. You don't just want the compliment, you want the guarantee it won't be taken away. So you overthink it, you downplay it, you reject it first so it can't disappoint you later. Compliments can trigger impostor syndrome, the fear of being exposed. This one is sneaky, because the more someone believes in you, the more pressure builds behind your eyes. Impostor syndrome says, if they knew the real me, they wouldn't say that. So a compliment doesn't feel like recognition, it feels like danger, like the spotlight just got brighter, and now your flaws are easier to see. And once that thought takes hold, you start scanning for proof you don't deserve it. That's confirmation bias. You ignore evidence that you're capable and obsess over every tiny mistake. You learn that standing out isn't safe. In some families, schools, or friend groups, being praised made you a target. Jealousy, teasing, pressure, extra expectations. So your brain links compliments with social risk. If I accept it, will they resent me? Will they expect more? Will I look arrogant? That's social comparison theory in action. Compliments can shift your rank in a group, even subtly, and humans are wired to protect belonging. So instead of feeling proud, you feel cautious, because belonging used to cost you confidence. Some compliments are too vague, and your brain flags them as manipulation. "You're amazing. You're the best. I love your vibe." Sounds nice, but also empty. When praise lacks detail, it can feel like flattery instead of feedback. And emotionally intelligent people often detect that difference fast. Your mind asks, "What exactly did I do that was good?" And when it can't find an answer, it labels the compliment as unreliable. So the anxiety isn't random,
It's your brain asking for evidence. You're not used to receiving, you're used to proving. A lot of high-functioning, self-sufficient people struggle with compliments because they're givers, fixers, doers, people who feel safest when they're useful. Receiving praise forces you into a different role, someone who can simply accept, and that can feel uncomfortable when your nervous system is trained for control. So you laugh it off, change the subject, compliment them back, because sitting in the moment feels exposed. Now here's the key takeaway. If compliments make you anxious, it doesn't mean you're cold. It means your brain learned that praise equals pressure, risk, or debt, and it's trying to keep you safe. But safety isn't the same as truth. So try this instead of rejecting the compliment. Pause. Breathe and say one simple sentence. Thank you. I'm letting that sink in. Not because you suddenly believe it, but because you're training your nervous system to tolerate good things. And over time, that changes your identity from I have to earn worth to I can receive it. If this hit a little too close to home, you're not alone. And if you want more psychology that explains the feelings you couldn't name, subscribe quietly. No pressure, just understanding.